boy. Melissa, when was the last time you really said to yourself, I am out of shape? Oh my God.
Oh, frequently.
Like I had. So when I came out to visit you for St. Louis, we did a good amount of walking around and stuff like that. I don't think I was ever sore from what we did, all the playing. I think Rachel was from climbing in the city
she scampered.
museum stuff. Yeah. But I came out of that unscathed for the most part. But I did something this past week that I haven't done since I moved to Oklahoma. I walked to the movie theater.
Why did you do this?
Because. Period.
Because it was there.
Right, yeah. No, this is, like, you guys know me. I don't have a car. I don't have a license. All of that stuff. I've typically been pretty lucky to live in places where everything I needed was in walking distance. And because I walked so much, things that might be just outside of walking distance for a lot of people still felt like walking distance to me. And so even when I was in college in Richmond, or even just after college, like the movie theater that I would go to, I would walk there a lot. And it was a good long walk, maybe like a 40-minute walk. But it worked out great for me because I could just put on my headphones and listen to a podcast or music or something, and could go to the movies and then walk back, and everything was just super easy and super simple. And since moving here to Oklahoma City with my partner, I haven't really had to do that because I've often had Rachel to be like, yeah, let's go together. I think there's only been like once or twice that I've gone to the movies by myself since I've been here. But yeah, I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go walk to the movie theaters and see a movie. And so I went to go see Honey Don't, which we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, it was kind of an experience for me to be like, how walkable is this place? I haven't done that. I haven't like explored in that way. And oh boy, Melissa, I am out of shape. I was so sore in a way that I have not known in my life.
Now, Oklahoma is largely flat. I don't imagine your commute included any inclines.
Not really. Like maybe slightly uphill going there, but like just ever so slightly, right? Like it's not an actual thing. Yeah. And the walk itself, the movie theater is almost exactly 2 miles from where I live. So it's not even that bad of a walk, right? At a brisk pace, you can get there in half an hour, which again might be just outside of walking distance for a lot of people. But I was like, you know what? That's not that bad, right? So I went out in the like sweltering 90-degree heat to go walk to this. Yeah, bad choice with that. But I was also like not sure like how long it would take. My movie was at 4:50, and I left just before
bad choice.
4.
Bad choice.
How is that a bad choice?
That's the heat of the day. You couldn't at least pick like a 7:40 or something?
It would still be hot at that. And then by the time I'm done, it'd be dark, and I'd be walking home in the dark.
You can
and
buy
I
a
didn't
glow
do all
stick. You're fine.
Just out there with my little glow stick, holding it up.
Just a glow stick necklace. They'll see you. You're good.
No, but yeah, in terms of heat, absolutely worst time of the day that I could have gone. But for that day, that was the only one that I could get to. And so I went out there and I walked all the way up there. It only took me half an hour, despite the Apple Maps being like, it's a 45-minute walk. And I was like, I don't think so. But yeah, I went all the way up there and thankfully got there early. And was able to cool off by like going into the other stores around it. And I shopped at some like sports store. I think it's the Authority or something. I don't know. Just something
Sports
like that.
Authority?
No, I don't think it was Sports Authority. It was something else.
Kyle, are you sure? Because there is
really
a well-known store known
yes.
as Sports Authority.
Yes, there is a Sports Authority store. That is true. That's a fact. I don't know if that's the one that we have.
Oh,
near me.
There's Academy Sports.
That's it. Academy.
Okay, Sports Authority is now defunct. And even the picture on its Wikipedia page is blurry. That's how defunct it is. It doesn't get to be seen clearly.
Yeah. So I went into Academy for the first time since I moved here, just to like get some air conditioning and cool off and not be like, I'm just going to sit here in the movie theater for my movie for half an hour. So yeah, I did all of that. But yeah, I got home, and by the time I was home, it was like the back of my knees were sore and my upper calves. In a way that, like, I haven't experienced that before. Like, those muscles, like, I guess I just haven't used them in years. That they were just like, whoa, hold your horses, Kyle, what are you doing?
Yep.
But that's what I did, and I was so sore.
So what have you learned?
I learned that it was a straight shot. Like, I did not have to turn. It was mostly walkable. However, there were a few places and intersections that were just not accessible in the slightest. Like, there was one intersection, like, you know, the little buttons you can hit to let the crosswalk thing know that, like, hey, I'm here. There was one that had to have been like 40 feet away from where the sidewalk ended. Like, if the sidewalk had turned and continued down that road, it would be a good 40 feet that way. But the sidewalk stopped, and there's just grass for the rest of that. So, like, if you were in a wheelchair, like, you couldn't get to that. Or if you were blind and, like, so now the sidewalk ends here, but there's no pole. There's no, like, thing for it to hold. And it was just like, this is terrible design. There was also a stretch of sidewalk out in front of like an outdoor shopping center where the sidewalk was more like a dotted line. There'd be sidewalk, then there'd be grass, and then there'd be more sidewalk, and there'd be it's just like they just didn't finish it. And it could be for a mix of things. I think the button to hit the crosswalk thing, I think, had to be where it was for that there's a fire hydrant like in where it would be, and so I think they had to keep that area clear and back, and so I think there's like weird zoning issues with all of that. And then the like dotted line sidewalk thing, I'm sure was like, well, there's a telephone pole literally right where the sidewalk would continue, but they also haven't chose to like make the sidewalk go around it, which is an odd thing. So like, is there some weird law about like, hey, if there's like electrical wires underneath this, you can't do that? Like, it's just like real strange, odd decisions. But for the most part, it wasn't all that bad. But also learned that, yes, I am very, very out of shape. And I did happen to look at treadmills while I was in Academy. Which is, it's something that I have been wanting to, like, let me just get a little treadmill to do all of that stuff. It's too hot to run outside. Let me run in the comfort of my own home, right? Oh, well. That's what I learned.
Now, do you intend to do this again? Or are you done? Never again.
Maybe sometime. In my mind, I was like, well, I can go on Thursday was when I went. And then I was like, well, then I can go again on Friday. And then like I'll go see like Naked Gun or something like that. And then over the weekend, I can go see something else that is at the other theater that the one we took you to go see Bullet Train. But I would go see something else. Like maybe I'd go see Weapons or Shin Godzilla or something. And I'm probably gonna go see Shin Godzilla on Tuesday. Because I have not seen that one, and I've always been interested in that one. And I want to go see that, and then they're eventually gonna start playing it in black and white. So I want to go see that in black and white too.
Two versions.
Yeah,
I've never seen a the only two version I've ever seen was Werewolf by Night, and that's because that was 45 minutes long. To watch it in black and white and then watch it again in color. I'm happy those exist for full-length feature films, but I ain't got that kind of time.
There's certain ones that I've heard like you should absolutely go see this movie in black and white. I still haven't seen the originals of those ones. The only one that I have seen in theaters, both in the original and black and white, was Godzilla -1. And it looked incredible in black and white. So that's why I was like, ooh, I kind of also want to go see this one in black and white, see if it also works. But I am out of shape, Melissa. My legs hate me to the point where it was just like, yeah, we're not going to go to any more movies this weekend. What if you just stay home and play video games? You don't have to walk. That's what I've been up to with my life. Melissa, how are you?
I've had a pretty frantic weekend. I exercise sometimes, I guess, by which I mean I just half-heartedly go on an elliptical and I watch old episodes of Drive to Survive on my phone. And Drive to Survive does make me go faster. It is a good exercise tool. But boy, I pack my calendar. I smoke it to the filter. I don't rest, really.
There you go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Where are you in Drive to Survive now?
So I watched the most recent season, so I actually knew what was happening. And then I went back, and now I'm like halfway through season 2. I just got to the episode where all of a sudden an F2 driver dies. A kid you've never seen before and will never see again because he died. Yeah.
They Pierre Gasly, who I'm sure they talked about a bunch in that episode, was good friends with him, and always does some kind of memorial thing for him. But yeah, that was the last. Well, no, because there's been it's not been the most recent fatal crash in motorsport, but that's been like the closest one to F1 that I'm aware of.
Okay.
In recent years. So.
All right. Well, that's good to know that at least nobody else is going to die in the rest of the time that I spend catching up on Drive to Survive.
Yes. Yeah. The last F1 fatality that we had was Ayrton Senna, which was in 1994. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But. Which I also recently watched. There's a documentary called Senna. I watched that. It was a fantastic documentary. And then there's a Netflix show, like a 6-episode Netflix dramatization of his life and stuff like that. And I watched that a couple weeks ago, and that was also really good. That was fun to see. But yeah, that's kind of the most I know about him. I didn't really know anything about hearing, oh, he's like the Michael Jordan of F1.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all. So, well, good stuff.
I have not watched any documentaries proper recently, but I did watch an 80-minute video on obscure M&Ms characters.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Whatnauts Captain's Log. My name is Kylo Springer. That is Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, is this the one that you posted in our Discord?
You think I found another one?
Knowing you,
it's
maybe.
Not impossible. I love different competing 80-minute videos on M&M's lore. No, it's the one I linked you.
So I have not watched it. I didn't even
You're
go
lost.
look at it, right? Yeah.
You refused.
You posted it. I saw you post it, and so I went in to see like what the post was, and it's showing me the thumbnail for this YouTube video, which is what, like every existing M&M's character there is, period. And it's just like a who's who of all these M&M's different characters. And if you were to ask me without having linked that, I would have been like, oh, there's just one for every color, and that's it. There's like 6 of them. Done. Right? This had like if you guys have seen those like Marvel Comics or DC Comics posters with like every single character, and there's like 60 of them, right? This is the exact same thing, but for obscure M&M's characters.
You're correct.
And it's horrifying because there's that, like, what is even going on in that? Like, let me see if I can pull this up and get the thumbnail up. Let me see if I can do this without showing our Discord stuff. Let's see here. You keep talking about this video while I pull this up.
Well,
this is
we
weird.
have some fascination with M&Ms, mostly because you and I, as avid moviegoers, have had to watch the same few M&Ms commercials over and over again in the pre-trailer ad roll. Last year for our Halloween special, last year I dressed up as Jacques the Mime. Who did not appear in this list.
Yeah.
He's still at it somewhere. They're just not showing it to us, but he's still doing it. This is a video by a YouTube channel called Recollect. It is about every unique M&M's character, a character that is an M&M, who has appeared in commercials, physical products, video games, comic books. Did you know there are M&M's comic books that like cross over with Marvel?
I could imagine Archie. Like Archie meets the M&Ms.
I'd love that. I don't know why that hasn't happened, but M&Ms have gone into the... I don't know if they meet Marvel characters, but they're in the world. They're in the same corner of the galaxy where the Guardians of the Galaxy are. They just have their own M&M's adventure.
Weird. I now have this image up on screen for everyone watching, and front and center is an M&M that is having his mugshot taken. Yeah,
that's the gray imposter. You had to find him, and then you would win like $1 million or something.
I think I vaguely remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But then right next to him is this like drawn one. It looks like maybe one of the ones from the comic.
No, that's Orange. Orange was a character in the 90s. So there's...
I'm going the other way. The like one that looks like he's drawn from a comic. But he has this like monstrous face. One eye is bigger than the other, and it's like a red eye, and then he has these sharp teeth, but the like shell is cracked, so it's just like the chocolate top for a head. Yeah, it's weird.
Then there's Dr. Phil.
Yeah, that's horrifying. Like, this whole thing is horrifying. There's a Shrek one in there. There's one, like, right in the middle, just slightly up, that looks like a potato.
That's Mr.
like
Runch.
Nutsack.
That's Mr. Runch, and he's a bad peanut. He's from the video games.
He's got some bad nuts for sure. There's one that the orange one that has hair in the background there. I don't know. I can't see that.
That's Lisa Rinna. That's Lisa Rinna from the same set of celebrity M&Ms as Dr. Phil. The weird thing about the celebrity M&Ms is that they either have too many facial features or too few. Some of them, it's like all their features are scrunched together in a little M&M, but if they chose to make them a peanut, then their features are like way too far apart from each other. It's always uncanny. I haven't seen a really, really good one.
Yeah. There's one with like the old M logo. There's one that's just like a cube of caramel.
That's Caramel.
Right, yeah.
Guess what his name is? He's Caramel.
Carrie? I don't know. There's like
he's
an R2-D2
he's a little nerd.
one. Yeah.
Yep.
But these things are horrifying. Like I'm going to have nightmares about this, especially that like Easter bunny looking one.
Time out. Mm-hmm. This is a recent grievance I would like to raise, not with you specifically, Kyle, just with folks. How many times has a thing been called nightmare fuel, a very overused phrase, and it has then actually gone on to do this? I think the amount of things that we point at and say it's going to give you nightmares is so minuscule that it actually gives you nightmares. I don't think it happens. We all say it happens. I don't think it does.
Melissa
and I
knows
think it's
your
time
dreams
that we
and knows you're lying.
I think it's time we be fair to things. If you've called something nightmare fuel and in the next year you've not actually had a nightmare about it, I think you need to issue a public apology to whatever that thing is.
Like, I actually had a good dream about you.
Right. What if you did? You don't know.
Yeah. So tell me about this documentary here.
It's just a YouTube video that just goes through every M&M's character and it divides it into different eras.
Please tell me they have like a poker rap for the M&M's characters.
No, but they do align it on a big timeline. There's different universes for all of the weird characters that are like, if there's an M&M's video game, like M&M's Racing, and one of the other characters in a race car in the background, one of the NPCs is like a bug or something, like not an M&M, they go on a separate multiverse shadow timeline. So they're counted, but they're not part of the main list of M&Ms. This is just like M&Ms and like other food stuffs, like caramel, square, or pretzel.
Right, yeah. Weird.
There's different eras. Like when they crystallize the M&M's characters we know, like red and yellow at least, and like the early 90s, then they had some others. Like they had an orange and a brown that never caught on and didn't stick around, and now we've got different orange and brown. And it makes you wonder if the characters we have now, I think red and yellow are eternal, but like, is purple still going to be there in 6 years? I don't know. Time will tell.
I wonder if it depends on the actors playing them, right? Like red and yellow have been solidified for a while, right? But in 10 years, I could see them being like, we need some fresher blood in here, right?
They keep
you aging
don't.
Out. Or the
I
actor
don't want my
passed
M&Ms
away, right?
I want them to have old blood.
Melissa wants AI M&Ms. Actors will never change. Well, then you gotta change the actors.
Well, you can get a look alike. You can get a sound alike, in the style of J.K. Simmons. If J.K. Simmons ever dies, which I know he must someday, but I don't like thinking about it. I'd love if there was a continuation in his legacy to still play
that type of character.
Yellow M&M. Right, just another stand-up who kind of can sound like that. Don't make him sound like whoever the Gen Z hottie of the day is. What I like about M&Ms is that they're all adults. They are old.
They have the
and I'd love it to
M&Ms
stay that way.
Minis to be the younger kids if they want.
M&Ms minis were like the kindergartners on recess that were just feral.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
There are no specific characters. They're just one amalgamated horde.
I feel like they would get along good with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch squares.
Crunchlings.
Yeah.
No, well, there's the squares and then there's the crunchlings, and the crunchlings are from like Honeycrisp?
Something like that. I don't know. Interesting. 80 minutes of M&M character dissections.
That's what I like. What have you learned this week?
Something that I learned. I don't know. I have been experiencing two of the best sci-fi stories that I have ever experienced in my life in the past week. And it's kind of wild. So today I finished playing a video game called 1,000 Times Resist. And it was a game that came out last year in 2024, and I had always heard good things. And from the podcast that I listened to, it bumped up on my list of okay, I need to play this at some point when I have time. And I finally bought the game this past week and started playing it, and mind-blowing. It's incredible. Maybe one of the best video game stories, period. If you like narrative video games, this is one you don't want to skip. In terms of gameplay, there's really not much to it. Yeah, you're kind of just hitting A to advance conversations. So in that sense, it's kind of like a visual novel. There's no combat or stuff like that. But this is such a wild story that in 10 chapters, I finished chapter 4 a couple days ago and posted online. Holy moly, the stuff that was just revealed at the end of chapter 4 is what other video game stories dream their finale is. The stuff that was happening not even halfway through the story was this is ridiculous. This is crazy. How are we this deep in already? And yeah, it was a blast. It's a story about intergenerational trauma, cloning.
Most stories are that virus. Nowadays.
No,
they're not mostly
really.
About cloning. I swear, you throw a rock, you hit 3 stories about intergenerational trauma.
Was not about generational trauma.
No, it kind of was. It kind of was.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, in a way that it puts that front and center. It's a story about immigrant families and the way the children then view their parents, and how those children grow up and then have kids, and how those kids view their parents and stuff like that. Yeah, man, it's so hard to explain what the actual plot of this game is, because there's so much that happens. But it's well worth anyone's time that enjoys narrative video games. So go check that out. But Melissa, have you heard of this show Pantheon?
Not at all. I've zero context for this.
I figured. Pantheon was an AMC original animated show. Yeah, right. You're looking at me confused, what are you talking about? I've never heard of this.
Because AMC, that's good stuff. We love an obscure AMC show here. I did not know they ever did any animated ones.
Yeah, so I remember when this hit HBO Max, And it was on HBO Max for a while. It did 2 seasons total. They were, I think, hoping to do a third, but it got canceled. But it got canceled at the end of season 1, and then Netflix picked it up and saved it and aired season 2. And so right now it's on Netflix. It's available to watch on Netflix, at least here in the United States. And this also just an incredible sci-fi show that I would highly recommend. It is it's about like digitizing consciousness and like that kind of sci-fi, but from where it starts to where it ends by the end of season 2 is just so vastly different from where it started that it's kind of wild how much it packs into the show. Every episode is like 40 minutes ish, but these are maybe the longest 40-minute episodes I've seen in any show. There is not any kind of wasted space in this show. It's so tightly scripted that like a 40-minute episode feels like you've been sitting there for an hour and a half watching it in like the best way possible. Yeah, really good, but has gone completely under the radar because, right, AMC original animated show. The art style looks similar to like Invincible or Legend of Korra, right? That kind of like American almost anime style. But yeah, fascinating stuff. Was not expecting it to be any good. I just kind of had it on my list of like, I think I'd like it. It's a sci-fi anime kind of thing. If you are not interested in anime content, let me actually look up, because the voice cast of this is incredible. Let me see. Can I show cast? Here we go. Katie Chung plays the main character. You may not have heard of her, but you will recognize Paul Dano, Daniel Day Kim, Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's one of William Hurt's final performances.
Wow.
In this, yeah. Like just incredible stuff. There's probably other people you might recognize in this too. Where is he? Is that his name? I don't think that's his name. You'll also recognize Ken Lung, Lost alumni, right? Is that really his name? Yeah, Michael Kelly, who you've seen him in every kind of TV show as some like government character. He's in Jack Ryan. He's in House of Cards. He's in Chronicle. He's in Now You See Me. All sorts of stuff. Incredible television actor. Yeah, just incredible cast. If you're like not super interested, like if you're like, it's animated, I don't know if I'll like it, the cast is fantastic. If you are an anime fan, plenty of references and Easter eggs. It references Ghost in the Shell and Neon Genesis Evangelion and Gundam and all sorts of stuff, right? It's like the best of the best sci-fi stuff coming together to make this show. Highly recommend it. That's mostly what I've been checking out that I want to talk about right now. Well, yeah. Do you want to go straight to Honey Don't, since that's one we both saw?
Yeah, I just came back from seeing this earlier today.
There you go. Well, what'd you think?
It's an interesting companion to the previous film in its spiritual successor, Drive Away Dolls, which was a very silly movie in a way I really liked. This was a lot darker and sadder. I'd probably still classify it as a comedy as its first genre label. but it's heavier. I really like.
Yeah.
It's great stuff from Chris Evans. And I love, he has this monologue about macaroni and he keeps pointing. And he's not pointing to any specific macaroni. It's just like in his mind, he's decided macaroni is over there.
Metaphorical macaroni right off screen. Yeah. Was Drive Away Dolls also by the same Cullen?
Yes.
Okay, that one.
Yes.
Yeah, both by Ethan. Okay, yeah. When I went to go see Drive Away Dolls, that's a very like quirky, funny, like take like in the Coen brothers like filmography, they have that quirky side and they do have the like darker like a dark comedy kind of style that's also less quirky amidst the like crime stories that they often like to tell. And these two movies just kind of separate that and like exemplify each of them. Honey Don't feels much more like a crime noir. It's a dark comedy. Charlie Day is in this and he's just delightful. Chris Evans is hamming it up in a way that he is just a complete douchebag.
I love when he eats the ham. I love ham Chris.
I don't know. I walked away from Honey Don't wishing I liked it more than I did.
Sure.
I think the ending kind of ruined it for me. Not to say that I thought the ending was bad or the wrong choice. This movie was also like an hour and a half.
89 minutes.
Yeah. It could have used like 20 more minutes scattered throughout or just at least like give me one big chunk somewhere else in this to help flesh out some of the characters to make the ending feel earned is what I will say. I didn't feel like the reveal at the end was truly earned. I was like, okay, I like the cards you played, but also there was really nothing on screen to make me feel like you earned that, though. So at the end, I was just like, all right. And there's this other whole kind of mystery that goes unsolved, kind of. But that's fine, I guess. I don't know. Right? Like, it was just like, all right,
it is what it is. It's the romp you came there for. You get plenty for your money.
Yeah. I thought Margaret Qualley was fantastic.
I love any movie that's just a vehicle for a woman being tall at you.
Right, yeah.
That's the best thing about Tenet. I know you didn't finish that movie, but you saw most of Tenet. No, but like the number one thing about Tenet is just the sheer height of Elizabeth Debicki. That comes first. Everything else is so secondary. She's so tall.
Yeah, you know, if you're out there writing your college essays on the filmography of Christopher Nolan and you're writing about the takeaway of Tenet, just put tall woman. And that can be your entire dissertation, right? There you go.
That's great. I'm gonna do a list of top 5 tallest women for our review show wrap up this year.
Who knows? That might be your next wet awards.
Then it gets mathematical. Then I have to research actually how tall the actresses are and everything we're talking about. And I don't do research like that. There is a fact I've been wanting to know. And I'm like, I don't know if I can just Google my way there and it's too much data cranking to like solve it myself, which is who is the tallest best actor winner. And thank goodness a podcast just told me that it's Tim Robbins. And now I get to know that for free.
There you go.
Pretty good.
You listen
Life is
to
great.
The right podcasts.
It's Blank Check. Thank you, Blank Check.
Yeah.
That was part of their discussion on the Hudsucker proxy.
There you go.
My new favorite movie. I had another trip out to the theater this week. I went to High Point Cinema, which is next to the burger place of the same name, and I saw a special one-off show called Ghost Almanac. And I think this is a traveling music and sound effects team that is cut together like a 90-minute-ish compilation of a bunch of public domain old horror movies.
Okay.
And they play these and then just play live music and live Foley.
That's awesome.
It's spooky. It's funny. They played a Buster Keaton short film where he goes into a haunted house that has the most triumphant joke at the end. It has such
Amazing.
a good joke at the end of it. And being in a crowd and hearing everybody laugh at this all together was just a tremendous feeling.
Good. That sounds like a great time. You count that then as like official... It's screw the end of summer. We're starting Halloween now.
Oh, Halloween starts quite early. The Happy Apples are out. Do you have Happy Apples or the equivalent in your town?
I don't think so. We've already been haunted by the Spirit Halloween sign going up at the location that it will be up. It's been up for like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
For St. Louis, Halloween starts when Happy Apples brand candy apples show up at Schnucks grocery stores.
I gotcha.
As soon as they appear, the season is here. I took a picture and I sent it to my family and I said, Halloween is Galactus and Happy Apples at Schnucks are the Silver Surfer.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
It has been heralded. I'm ready.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see here. Any other stuff on your cinema corner? K-pop history class. Melissa, what is this?
Yes. I have some friends coming over. They came over this week. They both know K-pop quite well.
Yeah.
One of them's been into it since like 2008.
There you go.
Long time. And I'm like, show me the videos. I don't know this. I don't think I'm going to get into it. I don't have the time to get into it. But come over, take a couple hours, teach me, give me a primer. I love this. I love to hear about a very niche thing from people who really love it. And it's this whole cultural phenomenon
all ready
now.
For the return of BTS. They're done with their military service.
I know they are coming back. We didn't even get to BTS. We went back to like we went back to 2000. We went early. Yeah. Early, at least in the what seems like recent popularity of this in the Western world.
Sure, yeah.
So I wanted some groundwork. That's what I got. One of my friends was a fan of a specific company. So we just went through everything from that company.
Interesting. Okay.
So we've not even gotten to BTS and a number of the other major acts.
Only looked at all the Ferrari drivers is what you did.
The
there.
Equivalent of such, yes.
Right, yeah.
One of these is there is a mega group that is 20 guys. And I'm like, that's an entire F1 grid.
Yeah.
That's insane. I tried to explain F1 to her in return. I don't think she was as into it. Like, I too know hotties from international lands.
Yeah.
We each have our kind, are each like well-dressed, handsome young man from overseas brand of entertainment.
Yeah. Well, now you can go watch K-pop Demon Hunters and feel like you're in the know and stuff like that. So
I've learned that except for M&Ms, I really like looking at human faces.
Well, they do have human faces in K-pop Demon Hunters.
Like human faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I went through something like during the COVID lockdown that kind of bent me away from animation. All animation that is not like old comfort food stuff like The Simpsons or Futurama or King of the Hill, I have to see an actual actor's face on screen. I am a lot less interested in anything animated than I used to be. And maybe after a couple years, I'll cycle back into it. But for now, I'm like, let me see actual Paul Dano. I don't just want to look at a drawing and hear Paul Dano.
If you're gonna watch a bunch of the movies for awards season coming up, though, you probably will at some point circle back around to K-pop Demon Hunters. If that does not get like best animated movie nomination, it certainly will get best soundtrack. Netflix,
that's not an award.
Well, best original song, best soundtrack in what all kinds of awards
was it screened? Now this, I don't know if it was screened in theaters ahead of the, oh no, this thing is now a massive phenomenon, let's put it in theaters and make it a sing-along. I don't know if that qualifies it for Oscars. I'm curious. We'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah. But yeah, it was in theaters this weekend. Apparently, this is the first time Netflix has had a #1 box office movie. And it's for K-pop Demon Hunters this weekend only.
I did not realize that was #1. Oh my God. It's made 2 weaponses.
Yes, it is dominating because it's so good. It's an incredible movie, and I've seen so many people out there being like, man, I feel so bad for the exec that was like, nah, just put it on streaming. No one will like this, right?
No, that is a Netflix issue where even they don't put anything in theater. They give it the barest Oscar qualifying theatrical run. Like they just don't do it. It's not anything specific and personal to any film. They're just like 1 week tops for anything across the board.
Right, but they weren't even planning that with this, and it's because of the success on the streaming site. They were like, ooh, maybe we should have put that out. It's a sing-along, everyone come sing the songs. So good stuff with that. I do recommend that to anyone who has not watched it yet. It's a really great one. Good stuff there. Cool. Let's do a quick break for housekeeping, and then when we come back, we can do our pop culture lightning round, and then Melissa, you have a real serious question to ask.
We'll see about that.
We'll be right back. If I can find the button. Housekeeping. Here we go. Thank you so much for checking out this podcast. We hope you're enjoying it. If you didn't know, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and a lot of hard work goes into making them, so we would love it if you check them all out. But none of this is possible without your support. Head over to patreon.com/thewhatnauts, and you can get access to over 40 hours of exclusive content, including our Patreon first podcast, The Pilots Club, when you sign up at our $3 tier. Of course, there is a free version of the Pilots Club available, but episodes are exclusive to our Patreon for 2 years before they hit the free feeds. If you're interested in buying merch, we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, and more for sale over at thewhatnauts.com/store. Another great way to help us out is by subscribing and leaving a nice rating and review on your podcasting app of choice. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel for video versions of the show, trailer reactions, and live streams. And lastly, you can always find out more information about the shows we make on our website, thewhatnauts.com. Welcome back to the podcast. And once again, thank you to all of our Patreon supporters for subscribing. It means a lot. We appreciate your support. Thank you. Thank you. Over on the Pilots Club, we released our episode on the Hardy Boys. But coming up for this next month, we are watching the first episode of Numbers, which is I'm excited.
What if a guy did Numbers? We're gonna find out.
The year of the detective is going back to square one, I guess you could say. Anyways, that's what is coming up on the Pilots Club. And then on the free version, we released our episode on Veronica Mars. And coming up this next month is the episode on Winning Time, the rise of the Lakers dynasty.
Right.
A show that I still really wish got a third season. It was really good. So, oh well. There you go.
You just made me think about Mindhunter and how that should have gotten a third
every
season.
Every once in a while, there's some news site out there that's like, and here's how, like, this person said that, like, maybe it would come back if X, Y, and Z happens. And I'm always just like, don't make me hope. Don't get my
tease
hopes up.
Me.
Right,
I just think it's funny that there's such disparate types of shows that are in the should have gotten a third season club. That Winning Time and Mindhunter have to sit next to each other in this clubhouse.
Right, yeah. It's like the 27 club of musicians and stuff, but for TV shows. Should have gotten
season
a
2
third
club.
season. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we've been up to over there on the Pilots Club. Right here on the Captain's Log last episode, I got to ask Melissa about some weird laws in her state. Tell her about some weird laws in my state. Like, apparently you can't have an open comic book in Norman, Oklahoma, or maybe you couldn't at a certain time. But that was fun. So we did that. Go check that out. And then over on the review show, we did we covered an actual book on the podcast. Our second time actually covering a book. We've done comics in the past, but this was our second book, and we talked about Secret Identity by Alex Segura, crime noir murder mystery set in mid-60s or mid-70s, I think, New York.
Mid-70s.
Yeah. New York City in the midst of the comic book industry. We had a blast with that one, so go check it out. But yeah, that is what we have been up to over here at the Whatnauts. Melissa, so you planted this question for down the road. I just want to clarify something with you here. So you have written in our notes, what's a real piece of media that sounds like a creepypasta when you try to describe it? Now, we're not answering that right here, right now. You said
no, we're going to save it for Halloween.
Yeah, think about it for down the road. But I want to clarify what you mean by this exactly. Because is this just like name a movie that's plot is like hard to describe and is a horror?
It has to be obscure enough that there's a very small chance that the person you're talking to has actually heard of it or seen it. And when you try to describe what happened in it, it sounds like a creepypasta. Like, I remember this one thing that aired once on this channel in the early 2000s, and then this happened in it. That would be on a creepypasta board somewhere online. Yeah. Even though it is true, it is real, you can point at it. But when you say it, you're like,
right.
No, this sounds like a 4chan post. This sounds like it's from the spooky board.
Yeah, because if it wasn't a creepypasta, I could put that CD that my parents had that I looked like the top secret envelope in there. But
I think of it often. I'm going to find it. I need to get back on the hunt for that.
Right, yeah. I don't know, but obviously that's not a piece of like horror media.
It's not horror media. It's not. You just when you describe it, it does not have to be specifically horror related. It just has to be weird enough. You're going to understand when I give you what mine is.
Okay, so does not have to be horror related per se, but just but it's weird enough, obscure enough that
just strange, like just weird enough that you're like, this is fake. This is a story.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Good to know. I will start thinking of those for down the road. Pop culture lightning round. Melissa, Nicolas Cage is in talks for True Detective season 5.
That would be radical.
Right? I'm kind of into that.
He hasn't. Has he done a TV before? Would this be his first TV?
Ooh, I don't know. Has Nicolas Cage done TV shows before? Has Nicolas Cage done a TV show? The AI overview is saying yes, but I don't know. I don't trust that. Let's go to his Wikipedia page. Where is his filmography?
If this is too much work, you don't have to answer me. We can just say the answer is no.
Oh, yes. He has his own Wikipedia page for his filmography. It's not like a section of his page. Television. He did in 1981, The Best of Times.
That doesn't count.
He was in the pilot episode of that. He was credited as Nicholas Coppola. Saturday Night Live, if you want to count that. Melissa, he's in the Dresden. No. Oh no, that he's not an actor in that. He's an executive producer only. I was going to say he's in the Dresden Files. He was the host of a show called The History of Swear Words from 2021.
That's right.
And then he will be in Spider-Man Noir. Is that a TV show, Spider-Man Noir? I thought that was going to be a movie. This is saying it's going to be a TV show. That's Spider-Man Noir. I guess it's a TV show. I don't think I realized that. So maybe not necessarily like TV show, but he has been on
big step.
Heavy stuff, yeah. So that would be an interesting change for him. I'd be down to see him go weird Nicolas Cage in a True Detective kind of thing. I think that'd be. I
want to see
really
him
fun.
Stare at a tiny mirror.
Right, yeah.
I think that's the audition for future True Detectives after McConaughey did it. They're like, let me see you stare at a tiny mirror.
Yeah. Now, there's I don't think you've seen the Fallout TV show, right?
No.
There's a character in that show that people have also been like, man, he'd be great on True Detective. And I would kind of like to see him paired up with Nicolas Cage. I think that'd be a lot of fun, especially because I feel like Nicolas Cage is a really tall guy, and this guy is so short.
Who is he?
Let me see if I can find the actor's name here. Let's see. But I'm excited for more True Detective. Let's see. Moises Arias, I believe is his name.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
Let me see what else he has been in and what you might know him from. He was one of the kids in Nacho Libre.
Like I can remember back that far to individual children.
I think he was the one that was like, why can't we just have a salad or something? He was in Hannah Montana the movie. He's Rico Suave. He was in the Astro Boy animated movie. He was in Despicable Me 2 as a voice actor.
That doesn't help me.
He was in Kong Skull Island as one of the bar guests. He was in Pitch Perfect 3 as Pimplo. He was.
We're good. We won't have to keep going.
Yeah. I don't know. He was in Hannah Montana. Yeah, he's Rico Suave from Hannah Montana. He was in...
I'm the wrong age to have seen Hannah Montana.
He's in Phineas and Ferb. From Phineas and Ferb's Quantum Boogaloo, he played the voice of Fred. I don't know. Yeah.
We're done here. Thank you for trying.
But yeah, he's in the TV show Fallout, playing Norm is his name. And yeah, he just has like a real distinctive face, and like look to
love a good face
to him. Yeah, I think he would be great in True Detective too. So, anyways, back to our pop culture lightning rounds. More people in talks to be in things. Tramell Tillman in talks to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who he would play, who they have in mind for him. But I'm excited to see him in
I just realized this. Your Google Doc auto-corrected it to Travel Tillman.
I saw that and was like, oh,
Which,
man.
I guess that's his new show.
Right?
Yeah. He's also going to search
Tillman.
for Italy.
Would it be pronounced Travel? Like Tramell?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyways, Blue Eye Samurai Season 2 is finally in production. Apparently they just put out a little like teaser for that this past week. So I'm super excited about that. And then speaking about Fallout, Season 2 is launching December 17th. I'm super excited about that one. Melissa, you put these next three on here, starting with a new addition for the Criterion Collection.
I love new Criterion announcements, and they're adding one of my very favorite movies, Eyes Wide Shut. Kyle, you've never seen it, right? We would have talked about it if you had.
I've seen most of it. I think I have. If I have not, I've seen most of it. I know I've seen the big long sex party scene.
Yep.
I feel like I have seen most of it, but it still feels like a fever dream of like, yeah, I think I watched it. Right?
It always feels like that, which is one of the reasons why I love it. It's a great cover. I'm very excited to own it. I think it's coming out in November, just in time for Christmas. It's a great Christmas film.
Good stuff.
I got to see it in theaters last year. That thing is great to hear in a theater. All the chanting on one of those big Dolby surround sound systems.
I bet.
You're really living.
Yeah.
God, so creepy. And did you watch either of these trailers, and were you familiar with either of these films?
I watched both of them. Since the last episode, you were like, Kyle, I put this on there for you to watch before we started. So I watched these before we started.
Thank you.
Have not heard of the Mastermind. I had heard the name Marty Supreme just based on Timothée Chalamet being in that one. Didn't know what it was about. So yeah, the Mastermind trailer didn't really do much for me, to be honest.
Oh, I love the idea of this movie just being a deadbeat dad who like realizes he can steal art. He's like, what if I stole art? I'm gonna steal art. I love that the whole thing is
great.
Blurry.
It like the trailer itself didn't do anything for me, but it seemed to have the kind of air about it that I was like, okay, I think I'd probably be into this. I like the idea, of just like this guy who, like, he's a deadbeat dad. He still has the like his parents are still talking to him as if he's like a college kid back for the summer who's not doing anything with his life, still hasn't decided his major, doesn't have a job, right? It was just like, what do you do? Like, you need to have prospects or something, right? And he's just like, but I like art. I don't want to do anything, right? Like, and then he decides like, I could steal art and sell it, and that'd be fine, right?
That'd be fine.
Right? Yeah. So like that sounds like my kind of thing. I just was not excited for the trailer.
I'll see if I can see it. I don't even know if it's coming to my market, but I want to see it.
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
On the other side, Marty Supreme. I'm in. Hell yeah.
Yes. This is quite a trailer.
Yeah, that was an incredible trailer. A movie about a guy who's real good at ping pong sounds incredible. I'm sold just off that.
Especially in an era where ping pong was not big and most people didn't know what it was, and he's stomping around New York City like, ping pong! It's a thing now! I'm doing it! I'm the best there is at ping pong! And you've never heard of ping pong before, so you can't tell me I'm not the best. My name is Marty Supreme. I've got a little mustache.
The mustache is great.
He wears a great mustache,
pencil mustache that he can get there. Yeah. Melissa, you have unlocked the rare new lore story for Kyle.
Yes, I've earned it. I got the diamond. I cashed in the coins. I've reached the next level.
Like a hidden secret in a video game. You didn't know that you could just walk through that wall and it unlocks a whole new, like, there is a secret behind that waterfall. This is not to be like I'm secretly a grandmaster at ping pong. But there is a video game that Rockstar put out just called Ping Pong. Rockstar's Ping Pong. And Melissa, I know you don't know much about video games, but Rockstar is the studio that makes Grand Theft Auto. They are about to release GTA 6. It is GTA 5 is one of the largest media properties, period. For them to put out this sixth one, it is going to just sell billions and billions. It's kind of wild how much that thing prints money and just how prestigious their studio has become because of Grand Theft Auto. But in between some of their Grand Theft Auto games, in like the Xbox 360 era, back when we would have been in high school, like early college, they put out a game called Ping Pong. And that's all it was, just a bare bones ping pong game. And man, I have some incredible memories with this. Like, it is the most, like, it's not like an arcadey ping pong game. It's like, let's get the most physicsy simulation that we can make of this, but just make it so incredible that it's a damn good game. And man, I have a great memory of a friend of mine and I like staying up all night playing that game, just yelling as we were like hitting the ball back and forth. Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, just yelling.
Rowdy.
Yeah, just getting real rowdy for this very straight faced like ping pong game. It was so good, so much fun. So yeah, good memory, good Kyle lore. There.
I like to hear it. Thank
you. Yeah, that's about it.
What if this reawakens Rockstar Ping Pong?
I hope so. I really do, because that game was awesome. Yeah, so I'm in for Marty Supreme. This looks like a great one. I will definitely be checking it out. And I think they said it was coming out Christmas, right?
It's a Christmas.
This will be a good like holiday movie.
You watch out. You clear your calendar for a Timmy at Christmas.
Yeah,
Tiny Tim. No, Wonka. He's big. He's Big Tim at Christmas, right? Wonka. A complete unknown. They perform. One thing I've learned is you don't bet against Timmy. This could be the Oscar for him.
Yeah, indeed. So I'm excited for that one, for sure. Melissa, you put this other question on our list here, an interesting one. Do you want to do this one? Do you want to save it for next time?
No, let's do it. Kyle, when are you at your worst?
Define worst.
When does like dark Kyle come out?
Dark Kyle. Oh man, this is a hard one because I am very much like go with the flow kind of person.
You are.
It's really difficult to make me upset or mad or stuff like that. But I'm not like physical. I don't throw things. I don't smash things. Like that's not what I do. But I think I'm more petty.
Yes. Yes. This is what I'm talking about.
I think I'm more passive aggressive and like using like in the way that I can often come up with a joke really fast or some pun or something. I will use that wit and that smarts to like, all right, let me spin this to like really put a dagger right in here. I think that's what I'm like. But I am also very vocal that if I am mad or upset, I will let you know of like, hey, I'm upset here. Like, this is not
about anything real. This is like, what is the stupidest thing that you do get really petty about?
Ooh, I don't know. Like, maybe stuff at work. I don't know. Just like. There's because and this I feel like is typical of office culture in general of like per my last email, like obviously you didn't read it, like like it's that kind of stuff of like we've talked about this before, you should know this, but even that, like, it's like I don't feel like that's me at my worst. It is just like you do kind of have to be that in some office scenarios, right? Of just like, all right, this is the third time we've talked about this. Yep. I need to remind you in a real sharp, poignant way here of like, hey, as a reminder, here's this document which you should have bookmarked because I told you to bookmark it. So stuff like that. That's what I can get kind of petty about or passive aggressive about.
I've realized that me at my worst is in a church basement fundraiser trivia night.
That is not trivia etiquette. I thought you believed in Jesus.
Yeah. And like it's often not church related, but simply a church basement is where these types of events are often hosted.
Sure. Yeah,
Sometimes they're in a community center or a VFW hall, but when I say church basement, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. All the tables of like 8 to 10 people. You bring in any snacks you want. Oftentimes the trivia is just written by somebody who works at the church or the VFW hall or somebody who's part of somebody who works at the food pantry that you're raising funds for. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it isn't. So I did one of these last night with my mom. Okay. And she had told me about it and then realized, oh no, we already have 8 people. But then this week was like 2 people can't go. Do you want to join? And I joined because I hunger for trivia. I always want to do it. And this was time machine themed in that round 1, questions about this decade. Round 2, questions about the 2010s, questions about the 2000s, et cetera, all back into history.
What is the first I am the youngest of John Teeter?
I wish they asked me stuff like that. What's
the name of the computer? Guys, come on.
Explain primer. You have half an hour to answer this essay question.
By the end of primer, how many copies have been made?
Show your work.
Yeah.
So I am the youngest person at this table by decades and decades and decades. It's my mom and a bunch of her church friends who I think I've seen before at similar events, but who I don't know.
Sure.
And I always insist on being the team scribe when I go to one of these things.
Thank you for your service, because I'm always one like, not me.
No, I demand that I do it. And this time I brought my rocket ship pen.
Hey, there you go.
So we wanted to enter the themed table contest, and the table theme was the moon landing. And the year 1969 at large. My mom got astronaut balloons. She made a little moon and a little American flag for the table. She typed up a bunch of fun facts about the year 1969 and printed them out on little slips of paper. And some of them are facts and other ones are just words like Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Black Panther. And I'm like, Mom, do you mean Black Panther or Black Panthers? And she's like, Black Panthers. Black Panther parentheses movement is what she corrected it to be.
It's the like, so we did Alien, right? What about Aliens? Right? Just money sign at the end.
Black and clearly Panther? She had
Black Panther.
Clearly she had my she had my dad help, and my dad just looked up an album he likes that came out that year. So there's like 6 straight little strips of paper saying Wilson Pickett's song this released in 1969. It's mostly Wilson Pickett songs. Thanks, Dad. But I'm like, I brought my rocket ship pen. It's space themed. I have to write. I make a lot of unilateral decisions. I write everything. I don't ask for help unless I need help. And I take it personally when people lean over and try to tell me the answer. Like, I know the answer. I didn't ask you for help. Don't help me. I'm good. I don't like when they lean over and they're like, what did you write? What's the answer? And I'm like, I've got it. You don't need to know.
Sit down, Janet.
I get so mean. So these things are never, there's a table of 8. They're all structured the same. There's a table of 8, but it is never conducive for 8 people to actually be able to work on this together because you're so crammed in there next to the next table and like you can't be too loud or they'll hear you. And this thing got so loud. Sometimes it's hit or miss with the AV equipment. I've been to trivia nights where the speakers were too loud. I've been to trivia nights where the speakers were too quiet. And you had to really struggle to try and hear any of the questions. The actual speakers, the presentation, the host was fine. But as the night went on, people drank more and more Bud Lights and got rowdier and rowdier. And I was behind like, you're holding up a grape Fanta. You can drink a grape Fanta and get rowdy, I guess. No rule saying you can't. I'm behind like the loudest woman,
Ain't no
just
laws
screaming, hooting, and
Fanta.
hollering. They do like giveaways. I don't like clapping. I think clapping should be
no clapping. You got that wrong.
No, I don't clap when I get anything right unless I really fought for it. I'm like, I'm going to act dignified about this. I think that's basic intelligence. And I'm not going to be proud of myself for knowing that because I'm supposed to know that. That's like kindergarten baby stuff. So I sit there stoic, stone-faced, just nodding when I get things right. I believe clapping should be reserved for like incredible, skillful things that have happened. Clapping at the end of a live performance, for instance. I am not clapping for just picking a ticket out of a raffle bucket. That person didn't do anything. Like, yeah, they paid the $5 or whatever for the raffle ticket, and that helps fund the food pantry. But this is not an accomplishment, and we don't all need to clap about it. Like...
See, and then I feel like clapping for the person that won to say congratulations.
No,
but even
you don't
then,
need to congratulate them. They're fine. They won like a Tupperware set. They're good.
But like that's the thing. It's like if people are winning things every 5 minutes after every round like that, like, all right, guy, just
it's exhausting.
Save all your congratulations until
oh,
the
and
end,
of course,
right?
No, they do a bunch of it at once, and it's at the point of the night when people are drunkest. The Bud Lights are flowing. Everybody's hooting and hollering over winning like a gift card to Doozles.
The heffalumps and doozles.
So I refuse to clap. I refuse to let other people in on what I'm doing. I refuse to show any enjoyment.
You just need to have your own table and compete against everyone else and be like, I'm here to destroy you all. No man is an island the only except time for me I really and my trivia team.
I only really want help on sports questions because they never ask me about race cars. Not that I even know that much. If it's not about this season of F1, I'm not really helpful.
Right.
So like then I will look up and I'm like, well, and I look at like a man. I'm like, it's your job to tell me. This is what you're here for, Steve. Just getting in arguments with like old men over obscure 1970s sitcom theme songs.
No, it was Small Wonder. I'm certain.
I treat these as work. Like, this is work. This is time for me to do a work, funny. And I don't want to be bothered. I need to concentrate. Don't talk to me. Why is it so loud? And everybody's having a great time. And I'm like, I need it to be quiet so I can concentrate on this.
This is your sport. This is your battlefield.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't do this during golf. You're quiet when the golfer does the golf. Be quiet, okay? I'm no fun. I bring a giant charcuterie board and I eat off of it the whole night. So I've had so much prosciutto. There's so much salt in my blood. I want it to just be a quiet study hall where I fill out a test. But also there's like dip there. That's what I want a trivia night to be.
I'm sorry,
and it
I
isn't
haven't
that.
ever brought dip to our trivia nights on the Captain's Log.
So that's me at my worst. At my most petty is church basement trivia night, where I refuse to cooperate with any of my mom's church friends.
That's so funny. They've all become mortal enemies. Oh, that's great. Let me ask you this. Let's wrap up with this. Since you used to host a bunch of trivia nights and stuff like that. You've gone to things where other people host them. Let me ask you this. I want some criticism, a critique on my trivia questions that I've given you in the past. Good, because I enjoy writing them, and I always feel like I try to put a level of effort in them or word them a certain way to make it feel like, okay, this guy knows how to make trivia.
Yes, it is a fine line you have to write. Questions are often worded very specifically to give you the clues there in the answer. God, one of these questions was, which of this year's inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a singer who has also won an Oscar for Best Lead Actress? And it's multiple choice, this one. So it's like, is it Cher? Is it Bette Midler? Is it Lady Gaga? Is it some Beyonce, I think was the fourth answer. And everybody's saying Lady Gaga. And I'm like, she has not won Best Actress. Cher won Best Actress. And your album has to have come out 25 years ago for you to even be eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I got so indignant that they didn't know the rules of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And one of the questions was, and this was a really good question. I liked learning this fact. I didn't know it, but I'm like, oh, I should know that. So thank you for asking so that I can learn. Yeah. Who was the first actress to appear on a U.S. postage stamp?
Oh, interesting.
And everybody said Betty White. And I'm like, Betty White just got on a stamp this year. The answer cannot be her. Also,
There's a
remember,
recency
this is
bias. Yeah.
every round of this trivia night is themed around a specific decade, and we were in like the 90s. Like, do you not remember when we are?
No, they don't.
They don't. The answer is Grace Kelly.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But some of them, one in the question about the 2010s in that category, one of the questions was on the TV show Modern Family, a very popular show at that time. I watched some of it. What breed of dog does this one character have? And I'm like, I do not remember anybody having a dog.
Yeah.
That is way too obscure.
Never really watched it, but yeah, I don't remember talk about a dog on that show.
I watched like a season and a half maybe, and if that information is not prevalent in like that amount of memory, I think that's too specific. I like questions that fill out basic information that you ought to have. One of the questions for the 2000s was, in the movie Avatar, where are those aliens from? I'm like, that's a good question. In this major sci-fi film, name the planet.
Right.
A basic piece of the puzzle that you ought to have. If you don't know, a good chance to know it.
Yeah.
So questions like that, I think, are good.
I also like giving them some other trivia fact in the question.
Yes.
Like, in this year, this thing happened, but, you know, as a related
to this
thing. Yeah. I think that's also a good thing to do. But yeah, I'm not into trivia in that way, but I have like a weird sense of pride in like.
No, you write good questions.
I can write some good trivia questions.
Yes, it's fun. One of these questions in the 1950s category was, in the year 1956, this international amateur sports competition was broadcast for the first time. And everybody said the Olympics. And I said, yes, but are the people in the Olympics considered amateurs? They aren't in like, they don't play for the equivalent of the NBA or the NFL or whatever that is. Like, they aren't paid professional athletes in that regard, but they're not like amateurs. And I got so hung up on like, what is the potency of the word amateur? Like, what do you mean when you say that? Because when you hear people talk about the Olympics, nobody uses that word, amateur.
Yeah.
It's like a technicality. It's like
professional athletes, even if they aren't on like a pro team.
Yes.
Because it could be like a one-person sport where like you aren't on a team. This is just like you live your life by getting sponsors to allow you to train to go to the Olympic. Like, that's kind of what do.
I think that was poorly worded.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with the wording.
For sure.
And always remind people of the theme. If you have a theme, if you have a special rule, remind them, because they won't remember. And I don't want to be the person who has to keep yelling about the eligibility rules for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, when I wrote the question about the name of the like first cocktail or what have you for our previous trivia night, that was a tricky one because it was like, depending on how I word this, there's a different answer here, and I'm using that answer as one of the options in this. So like I that one took me a while to write, to figure out like, how do I want to word this? What do I actually want the answer to be? There's words matter.
They do. There was one question in the 70s category of the theme song to this superhero TV show reached #1 on the Billboard chart. And I thought The Greatest American Hero. I don't know if you know this show. No. It wasn't a show about a superhero. It was a show about a teacher. That was what the argument was. In the show The Greatest American Hero, it's a teacher who becomes a superhero. And it is this big, bombastic, like power ballad theme song. It's a really beautiful song. I'm like, of course that went to #1. That's incredible. And this old man is like, it was Welcome Back, Kotter. which is a sitcom about a teacher who has to go back and teach at his old high school, and kids are mean to him, including John Travolta.
Sure, yeah.
Little teenager John Travolta is mean to this man. And people tuned in every week. And the theme song for that is just like, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And I'm like, how did that chart? Why was that number one? What were we doing? And I insisted on the guy overwrote me, and I wrote down what he said, which was ultimately correct. But I'm like, I consider this not a failing of myself, but a failing of society. Do we've even gotten that song to number one? Like, didn't we have other things we were doing? Why that?
Nope, you were listening to Welcome Back, Cotter.
So I looked up The Greatest American Hero, which actually came out in 1981. It wasn't a 1970s show at all. And that is a TV show about a teacher who, like, gets a superpower, and he's a superhero and he's a teacher.
Interesting.
And his name is like Michael Hinckley or something. But then there's the attempted assassination on Ronald Reagan by a guy named Hinckley. And so they changed the last name of this character in the TV series to like Hanley, but only for a couple months. And then they changed it back. And that's insane to me.
All right.
You're like, they didn't just...
Hinckley's in.
Right. Like, what was the committee meeting to decide? Right. What was the committee meeting to decide if it was okay now? How was it so bad a couple months ago and then completely fine a couple months later? Like, either you change it permanently or you don't. I've never heard of anything else doing that. We're like, just for a couple months, we're going to pretend his name is something else.
I wonder if it's more that like Hinckley is not the like when you talk about the like conspiracies and all that stuff around the JFK assassination, I don't feel like Hinckley is one of the main ones that come
Ronald
up.
Reagan, the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan.
Well, there you go.
Which is in episode 4 of The Americans.
That I have not gotten to that one yet. That would be my next one.
So
I've only seen the first 3.
That is the next one. So when you watch that episode, just think about like the writer's room of this sci-fi TV show being like, our guy is the same name. I guess we have to change it. And then later that year, they're like, are we good? Are we good? Can we go back? So that's an insane thing I learned adjacent to this trivia night.
Okay. Well, good stuff. Good stuff. There you go. Let's wrap things up right there. So, Melissa, where can the people get in contact with you?
You can email me at yourhostmelissa@gmail.com.
There you go. Good stuff. And if you guys want to get in touch with me, I am at @YoKyleSpringer. If you'd like to stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts, we are at thewhatnauts.com on Blue Sky. So please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that. If you're watching this on YouTube, go check out more of our videos over there on that side of the screen. That would also help us out a bunch. And yeah, this has been number 303 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.